This is episode 87 now. Good morning and welcome to you and to all the viewers out there. This is Barry Fair and Alec Taylor with you in the studio, and we've got a bumper show coming up for you this morning, so we're not going to diddle-daddle around, so let's get straight in. Joining me now in the studio, it's a very big welcome back to Alec Taylor. I'm sorry about the confusion of the date. I said we were going to be back on the 28th of April, but we weren't, so my apologies there. Now here's Alec. Good morning to you.
Morning, Barry, and thank you for having me on the show. Great to be back.
Here we are back with a new series and a new show. Well, not a new show. New episode. And today we're going to be talking about winter. Now, the winter blues. You've got the winter blues. We wish we didn't.
Absolutely.
So, winter. Here are a few tips. We know that we bang on about them. But guys, you know the drill. Keep your germs to yourself. Here's Alec now to open episode 87 with that.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, always good advice to keep your germs to yourself, isn't it? And there are lots of different ways of doing that. Do you want to talk about those ways a bit?
Okay. Now, you see what I'm holding up here. If I can get her out. Just give me a moment.
Can I give you a hand?
And
nearly got it?
I've got it.
You got it?
This is called hand sanitizer. Now, I'm not going to give you a demonstration on the show. Okay, so this is the hand sanitizer here. Here's Alec to tell you about it.
Yeah, fantastic. So hand sanitizer is a great method and maybe the first line of defense, isn't it? So keeping your hands clean means that you don't spread germs with your hands. And it's a great way of trying to reduce the spread of the cold, the common cold or flu or COVID. So a great habit to be in is sanitizing your hands.
Now, if you are sick, the day before you shift, cancel it. Don't come in and give you germs to anyone else. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that is also good advice, isn't it? Because it used to be in the olden days, before COVID, not that long ago, I guess, but before COVID, people, when they were sick, they would soldier on, wouldn't they? They would go into work and they would be sick and they would have a snotty nose and they would spread their germs around. And really that's changed now, hasn't it? So nowadays, people stay home, recover. Sometimes they can work from home if they're well enough. But the important thing is to keep your germs away and keep them at home.
And if you feel sick at work, tell your site manager and tell them that you need to go home. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes, doesn't it? So you're feeling well enough to go to work in the morning and you head off to work, and then unfortunately you feel worse through the day at work, and that does happen sometimes. So it's important that you just tell your boss and say, look, I'm not feeling well, I'm going to go home, I'm going to get better, you know, I might be in tomorrow if I'm feeling better, but otherwise I'll have the day off, you know, that kind of thing. That's why we have sick leave, isn't it?
And it is important to drink your fluid as well whilst you are sick. Because if you don't drink enough fluid, guys, what can happen? Your body will not work or function properly. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. So staying hydrated is one of those sort of super important things, isn't it? To stay healthy, and it means that all of your, internal organs like your kidneys and your liver, all of those things work much better when they're well hydrated and when your body's well hydrated. So you're much more likely to recover more quickly if you stay well hydrated.
So always have Grain 20 in your home as well. That kills 99% of germs. Here's Alex.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because basically what it's kind of saying is that, yeah, even if you have your hands clean, you've got to make sure that your house is clean. And so making sure that all the surfaces are clean, and that you don't have bacteria. And I think actually dry is another thing, right? So you want everything to be clean and dry.
And always have Grain 20 in the car as well. And some wipes, because you don't know where your hands have been. Here's Alex now.
That's so true, isn't it? And particularly if you've gone out to the shops or if you're doing anything out and about, it's very common for you to get dirty hands without even noticing. So having something in the car just to wipe them down is a great idea, or to wipe your steering wheel, that kind of thing is a great idea.
And your transmission.
Yep.
The handbrake.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything, the radio.
Door handle. All of those things. Good. It's a good idea to give them a little wipe down from time to time, just to make sure that they're clean and you don't have any germs.
So, guys, winter. Now we're going to talk about what foods to have during winter. Foods to have during winter if you are sick. Okay, a nice bowl of chicken noodle soup that's got plenty of vitamins and veggies in it as well. Here's Alex.
Mate, that sounds really yummy. Chicken noodle soup. It's yummy, but also healthy. It's good for you, isn't it? And particularly if you put veggies in. The veggies are very good for you. They contain vitamins and minerals and fiber. So yeah, absolutely super yummy meal for when you're sick in winter.
So if your throat is too sore to swallow, have some ice cream, because that way it is soft and it will slide down easily. Here's Alex.
Yeah, and it's cool too, right? So it's frozen, so it's going to cool down your throat as well, which is always a nice feeling. It's certainly something that's very easy to eat if you've got a sore throat. And I think the other thing is sometimes you can have like a cup of tea with honey in it. That can be quite nice for a sore throat as well.
Yeah, and also have some throat lozenges as well to suck on. And if you've got a dry, chesty cough, get some Duratax. But we will talk about medications in a moment. Now, foods that are also good, is some porridge. Okay, add that. Okay, and make sure you keep your vitamin C intake up. Here's Alex.
Yeah, great advice, mate. So porridge is a lovely, lovely breakfast food in particular to have, with whole grain oats and lots of fibre. and energy, carbohydrates and energy. And as you say, vitamin C is actually a great thing to have when you've got a cold. And there are lots of different ways you can get that. One of the traditional ways is, fruit like oranges and that kind of thing, but also some veggies like broccoli have high vitamin C. So lots of good ways of getting vitamin C. And I suppose the other thing you can do is take a supplement, right? So if you're struggling to get enough in your diet, you can also take a vitamin supplement.
And also have some Vicks handy as well if you've got a cold. So if you've got a cold, rub some Vicks on your chest at night and put some up the snogger. Or if you've seen it in the chemist, okay, there is a stick, like a glue stick. So pick that up in your chemist. Vicks is also good for your headaches. Here's Alec.
Yeah, Vicks is interesting, isn't it? So I think it contains, is it menthol? It's one of those sort of natural, sort of herbal remedies, which does seem to actually have some really good effects on the human body. So yeah, that's quite a good strategy, particularly if you've got a runny nose, to try Vicks.
So have plenty of medicine and cough and flu tablets around, and Panadol and Lemsip.
What other foods, you were talking about meals, what other foods do you think are good to have?
Well, a nice warm casserole.
Nice.
With
yummy
vegetables.
Yep. Casserole with vegetables would be really good. And any kind of hearty meal, but as you say, lots of veggies, because veggies are very good for you when you're sick. They've got lots of vitamins and minerals that your body needs to recover.
A soup.
A soup, yes. So chicken noodle soup is the one you talked about before, but you could also have like French onion soup or just a vegetable soup, any of those soups I think are very good for you.
So we will talk about also the do's and don'ts of taking medication also today. Okay, so another food which is good, and if you can't eat it, blend up make some vegetable juice. Okay, because if you can't swallow, like I said earlier, you can blend your vegetables up, and add some fruit and vegetables. And this is a good way of getting your fluids up, keeping your fluids up. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea, mate. That's like the smoothie idea, isn't it? And lots of people will have a veggie smoothie or a fruit smoothie, and particularly when you're sick. And it's kind of like a double whammy, isn't it? Because not only does it have the fruit and vegetables in it, which are good for you, but it also has extra fluids. So it helps with the thing that you were talking about before in terms of staying hydrated. So the fruit smoothie or the vegetable smoothie is a great option when you're sick and in winter. It's a good one.
So now we will talk about the do's and don'ts of taking medication. That's the end of segment 2. Medications are great to take, but don't take them just for the sake of it, because our bodies will our bodies will get immune to it. Here's Alec.
Yeah, really good advice, mate. And that's quite a sophisticated concept, isn't it? So if you take medications too often, your body kind of gets used to it and they stop being as effective. It's one of the problems with antibiotics now is that if you have them too often, your body, it doesn't help your body as much. And also the viruses that they fight, the infections that they fight, they become immune as well. So yeah, make sure that you only use medicine sparingly when you need it so that it's most effective.
But don't just take it for the sake of it if you are well enough, because as the saying goes, guys, why fix it if it's not broken? Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, or something like that, right?
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. So yeah, totally, mate. So yeah, you don't take medicine if you don't need it. It will reduce its effect over the long term. So you really just only want to use it when you need it.
It's like the same when you ring 000.
Yes.
When you
same
don't.
concept. Yeah.
So we will close the show with that today.
Yep.
And some medicines, guys, they can fight the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria. So if you know that the medicine is upsetting your stomach, don't take it because you feel like it. Here's Alec.
Mate, I think that's right. Don't take medicine just because you feel like it. But I do also think that what you really have to do is follow your doctor's advice, right? Because sometimes they will give you a medicine which does have some sort of side effects which make you feel a bit unwell, and they still want you to take it, don't they? So they don't want to do anything that hurts you, but it's always good to follow your doctor's advice.
Okay, but if you're not sure on when to take it, discuss with your doctor. Here's Alec.
Absolutely, mate. Mate, I think that's very good advice. And these days, you can even just set up, like telehealth appointments and stuff like that. You don't even have to go and visit them. You can just have a conversation with them, which is good. And so it's just a really good idea, if you're not sure about your medicine, to talk to the doctor and get some professional advice, and they can help you.
And also you can ring Health Direct as well.
Yes, good thinking, mate.
Because they will be able to give you advice over the phone about when you can take the medicine. Because remember, some medicines make you sicker. Here's Alec.
Yeah, so that's a good idea, mate. Health Direct is a super helpful thing, isn't it? And I understand that with the new government, they're going to be investing a bit more in our health systems, and particularly for those sort of GP things. So hopefully all of those things are just going to get better and better, so that we can all stay healthy.
So another thing with medicines, okay, don't keep them within reach of children because they might think they're a lolly or a drink. So guys, keep your medicines out of reach of children. Here's Alec.
Mate, that is super important advice, isn't it? And I think it's really good for all parents to sort of know this. And I think basically all parents do know this. I think you're advised now when you have kids to do this. So keep your medicines up in a high place, usually out of reach, sometimes behind a locked cupboard or cabinet, but definitely secure so that kids can't get in and accidentally hurt themselves by taking any of these medicines. Very, very important safety advice.
And also, use medicines only as directed, and in plain deficit, do go and see your doctor. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. So always follow the advice of your doctor and on the box of the medicine that you're taking. And if you don't seem to be getting better in the time frame that you've been advised, then definitely go back. You know, they always say that, don't they? The doctors, they say, if you're not better in so many days, if you're not feeling better, then get back in touch, come back down, get yourself checked out again, because maybe there's something else going on, or maybe you need a different type of medicine.
And always finish your antibiotics. Let it run its course. Don't finish it halfway through because you think, oh, I feel better now, because the bug that you may have may still be inside you. Yeah, or infection. Here's Alec.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. That's another very important piece of advice, isn't it? Because some people, you know, they'll start taking the medicine and 2 or 3 days later, all of a sudden they feel a bit better. And they go, oh, I don't need it anymore. Actually, no, you need to see it through all the way, don't you? Make sure that your body does fully get rid of whatever's wrong with it. And they always advise that, don't they? If they've given you, if you've been prescribed a course of antibiotics, complete it. Finish the whole thing. Make sure that
It's like if you see food that's on a plate, finish it.
Well, that's just good manners, isn't it? So that's just if you're at somebody's place or whatever, and it's also good, you know, to reduce waste. So it's good for the world, and it's good for your hosts to finish the food that you've been given. It's a polite thing to do. But it's also good to reduce waste. Like, it's not good for food to go into landfill or whatever. I suppose there's compost. So if you do have excess food that you haven't been able to use, you can compost it, and that's a pretty good thing to do, isn't it? But it's very polite to finish your meal, isn't it?
Yeah, so there are lots of things you can do while you are at home sick. Curl up with a nice book or watch a TV show that you like, a cooking show or a current affairs shows, okay? And cancel anything plans that you have made. Here's Alec.
Yeah, great ideas, mate, and lovely suggestions. And it really is a way of making feeling bad as good as possible, isn't it? So if you stay at home, stay comfortable, read a book, watch some TV.
And the most important thing is rest, rest, and rest. Because if you don't rest, okay, and you're up and about and going out, then your body will not have a chance to recover. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So make sure you don't go too hard, you don't get tired and run down. You want to get enough sleep, and make sure you stay warm and comfortable, and give your body the time to heal, you know, and recover.
And don't come back to work too soon, because you might not feel up to it. Here's Alec.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you take the time that you need. You want to make sure that you're not infectious anymore. I think that's probably a really critical factor. So make sure that you're not going to make anybody else sick, and make sure you're feeling good enough. And the last thing you want to do is have a setback, right? So go back to work, then get sick again, and then have to take more time off. So you want to just make sure you get well enough so you can go back properly and you won't make anyone else sick.
And it's also very important, guys, to listen to your body, listen to what the doctor's telling you, okay? But getting back to doing things at home, okay? You can watch television in bed.
Any recommendations, mate? What do you like to watch when you're sick?
Maybe watch a good TV program, maybe news and current affairs, or listen to the radio, that sort of thing.
What are your favourite shows, mate? You liking anything at the moment?
We're not talking about shows at the moment.
All right, sorry, mate. I just was thinking if you're recommending a TV show, maybe for
Well,
someone who's at home.
maybe a cooking show,
Oh, nice, yeah.
so that you can come up with food ideas for winter and casserole. So guys,
Nice.
make sure that you've got plenty of books and DVDs with you, okay? And also, if you feel sick, have a bucket handy. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's a good idea, mate. So have some DVDs, have some things to watch that you like, and have a few good books. Maybe a book that you've read before but you really enjoyed, that you haven't read for a while, and you can read that again. Lots of good stuff to keep you entertained. And yeah, if you are feeling sick, take precautions. Hopefully, if you're at home resting.
But if you feel sick, have a bucket handy, okay?
Yep.
And have plenty of blue paper with you too, because you may have a tummy bug.
Yeah.
Here's Alec.
Well, and that's quite common, isn't it? Like, I think with the flu, that you can get an upset tummy, and also sometimes on antibiotics you can get an upset tummy. So yeah, good to make sure that you take precautions, and then of course wash your hands afterwards, and then try and stay healthy and rest.
So,
What else can you do if you're at home?
well, if you're at home and you're well enough, you can write emails on your computer, play your computer games, things like that, or watch a favorite YouTube video that you've recently uploaded. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's a great idea, isn't it? So there's lots of things you can watch nowadays on YouTube, and sometimes you might have saved some things to watch later on YouTube, and so maybe when you're sick is a good time to go back and watch those things. So yeah, lots of fun things that you can do. Send some emails, maybe browse the web.
And I sent Alec an email on Saturday about the flu.
Yes, you did, mate. I saw that, and I think you sent it to a few people. What's that? The one that you sent to a couple of people? Yeah.
Yeah, so you may have noticed a couple of people are away today, actually, because of the winter lurgy. Some people have got the winter blues. Here's Alec.
It's so true, mate. It seems to be already going around. We aren't even in winter, and already there seems to be some bugs going around. I know that here at Lifestyles and St Ives, there are a few people away sick today, and
you've got the cold or flu, you should be back in bed, but you've got to sort Soldier on with
Codral, soldier on, soldier on.
Well, that's a good ad.
Look it up.
Let's look it up.
Soldier on with Codral, mate. It's an oldie but a goodie. I wonder how old that is. You know, I wonder how long that's been going for that particular campaign. Soldier on with Codral.
With Codral, you can soldier on.
Soldier on. 1985. Here we go. Should we play it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just wait for the ad to play on YouTube. Here we go.
The flu, you should be back in bed, but you have to soldier on. Soldier on, with Codral, soldier on. Soldier on, now with Codral, really, soldier on. Soldier on. Cold and flu won't get us down, 'cause with Codral you can soldier on.
Codral cold and flu tablets. Use only as directed.
You can soldier on.
Magnificent.
Now, that was an ad from 1985.
Wow.
And as I said, you've had the Codral flu and you should be back in bed.
You were 10 years old, were you, in 1985?
I was.
Yeah, I was 12. You and I probably watched that ad together in different houses, but at the same time, we were probably sitting in front of the TV watching that ad.
So here's an ad for Orthoxicol.
Ooh.
Codral flu or Orthoxicol. We'll just pause that.
Orthoxicol.
Now here are a couple of commercials. We're going to play for you again the Soldier On ad and the Orthoxicol ad from 87 and the Lemsip ad.
Can we do the Orthoxicol one first, mate?
Yep, we can.
I don't think he's working this winter, son.
Well, you wouldn't be working either if you had a head cold and a flu. My nose is all blocked up, my eyes are watering, my joints ache, and I feel hot and sweaty. A whole sideshow of symptoms.
That's not it,
Try these
right?
Orthoxicol cold and flu capsules. They'll have you back to work in no time, and they won't leave you dry.
Oh,
Orthoxicol cold and flu capsules for those who need to keep working right through winter. Remember, colds and flu or Orthoxicol.
or Orthoxicol. That wasn't the one you were looking for, was it? 1989?
No,
You're looking for the jingle, aren't you?
87.
Oh, okay, here we go. Just try this one.
Cycle often starts with a tickle, can go to your throat, and may go to your chest. Often it goes round the rest of the family. You can help stop the cough cycle. Orthoxicol expectorant cough syrup with antihistamine. Orthoxicol expectorant works 5 ways to soothe the cough and relieve the congestion. This winter, help stop the cough cycle with Orthoxicol expectorant with antihistamine. Remember, winter coughs or Orthoxicol.
Is there a jingle that you were looking for? So that was from 1987.
I don't think it's there.
No, it might not be here. Yeah.
It's not there.
Nah, I don't think it is, mate. But there are a lot of ads for Orthoxicol. What was the other one that you wanted to go back and listen to the other one? Codral.
Codral, so
And that was from 1985.
5, I think.
There's one here from 1989. Oh, here we go.
Caught the flu, you should be back in bed, but you have to soldier on with Corporal, soldier on.
Soldier on.
Now with Corporal really, soldier on. Soldier on.
I better finish my coffee
Righto. Do you want to pause?
Coffee, cold and flu tablets.
and we'll be back after the break. This segment was proudly brought to you by Codral. With Codral, you can soldier on. You only have directed, and if pain persists, please see your doctor.
Very nice. Sponsored by Codral.
Well, there are the do's and don'ts of going to the doctor, okay? Don't go to the doctor to chit chat. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. So doctors are very busy people, aren't they? And they're very helpful people. They help a lot of people get better when they're sick. And they're always busy. I've never ever been to the doctor when they haven't been busy. So you definitely only want to go if you are sick. If you are sick, then definitely go. You don't want to go to just chit chat. There are other people you can chit chat with, you know. So yeah, you definitely just want to go if you're sick, and you don't want to go just to chit chat.
And don't talk to him about your personal issues either, because a psychologist is good for that or lifeline.
Yes.
So when you go to the doctors, okay, tell him what is wrong with you and stick to the subjects and your facts. Tell them why you have made the appointment and the reason. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So you want to give them lots of good information, all the relevant information, and they want to hear how you're feeling, and they want to make the best decision they can on give you the best advice they can on the best information. So you don't want to withhold anything, but you also don't need to kind of talk about irrelevant things, right? So you answer their questions clearly and fully.
So be honest with the doctor too. Here's Alec.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there's no point in denying or embellishing or anything like that, is there? So you may as well just be crystal clear with them, because if there is something wrong, then they'll be able to help you. It's most important that you're just clear about what's really going on with you.
Because don't tell them something that happened 2 weeks ago when you should have told him or her the moment that it did happen. And before you leave the appointment, ask him relevant questions, like when do I need to do this, when do I need to do that, etc. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. So timing is definitely important, isn't it? So you've got to be clear about when things have happened and when you started to feel sick and that kind of thing. And then just make sure that everything is clear to you before you leave. So if they've said, you want to take this medication, you need to know when to start and how often to take it and how long to take it for, and that kind of thing. So it's good to ask clarifying questions as well before you leave.
And always, and don't just go halfway home and think, oh, I forgot to tell the doctor right there and then. Don't just get halfway home and think, damn it, I forgot to tell him, because you are responsible for your own actions. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And if that has happened to you before, it can sometimes be helpful to make a list, can't it? So if in the past you've been to the doctor and you've forgotten to tell them something that you think is important, then you know that might happen again in the future. So it's good to maybe make a little list of the things that you want to talk about with the doctor next time.
So before you even make the appointment, is the problem serious enough? Think about it, because there may be a small child sick. Because sometimes, guys, the medical centers are only open for urgent cases, like small children. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right, mate. So you only want to go to the doctor if you really need to. And there are things, aren't there? So, for example, if you've just got a cold, well, actually, you probably don't need to see a doctor. It partly depends on how sick you are. But if you've just got a light head cold, just staying home and looking after yourself is probably enough, isn't it? And I suppose it's
Because like I've said before, if something ain't broken, do not fix it.
Absolutely.
And don't take it because you feel like it. Okay, because again, your body may be immune to it.
Yeah.
Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, the good thing about the human body is that it does have an immune system, and that it can actually cope with a lot of things that go wrong with it. Heals itself. So, and it's also a bit like a muscle in a way. So the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, allowing your body to heal itself sometimes is actually a very good thing for you to do.
So if the situation is really bad and you can't get to the doctors, you can ring an after hours doctor to come and see you, or make a telehealth appointment. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right. So there are options, aren't there? So if you do get sick, but it's actually at a not good time, there are things you can do. You can make telehealth appointments. You can call that line that you were talking about, Health Direct. Or if you are very sick, then you can even go to the hospital, to the emergency ward at the hospital.
If you can drive yourself there and you are well enough, great. But if you're not well enough, call the paramedics and they can give an opinion whether you should go with them or not. Here's Alec.
Yeah, they can be very helpful, can't they? Although they also are very busy as well. And in fact, sometimes it's possible to go to emergency without an ambulance. So sometimes you can actually get a lift from a friend or your house manager or something.
Or get a taxi.
Yep, or you can get a taxi, exactly. So there are some ways of getting there.
Get someone that is trustworthy to come and collect you.
Yep, a
Here's
friend.
Alec.
Absolutely. So someone trustworthy like a friend or family, they could take you. But as you said before, you want to make sure that you really genuinely need to, right? Like, if it's just a light head cold, well, then you don't need to go really. But if you've had it for a long time, you feel like you're getting sicker and sicker, and you really feel like you need to see a doctor urgently, well, then get yourself off to see a doctor.
But if you're critical and you're in a lot of pain, please do ring 000.
Definitely. If it's an emergency, definitely ring 000.
Well, we hope that you have enjoyed today's show all about winter and the tips that we've given you. Thanks for joining us today. And another thing I forgot to mention before we do sign off, don't stay out in the cold for too long. And if it's raining and you've been walking out in the rain without wet weather gear, get inside, have a shower as soon as you get home. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, I absolutely hear what you're saying, mate. So wear the right clothing in winter, and when it's raining, make sure you stay dry and as warm as you can. And then if you do get wet, come home and have a nice warm shower, rug up, put your trackies on, maybe your Ugg boots if you've got them.
Yep.
Stay warm.
Because if you, and stay off the road as well if it's too wet. But we will talk about road safety next time. And the message that I bring up at the end of the show, guys, leave 000 alone. Only call them if you really have to. Don't ring them for stupid, trivial issues. Here's Alec now to close the show with that.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. As always, good community service announcement. Only use 000 in an emergency. Absolutely.
So don't ring them because you feel like it, or if you've got a minor issue. And that's where we must close the show for this week. And we'll see you next time around with Alec and Barry, and you have a great day. We'll see you next time. But until then, take care. Bye-bye.